All right, ladies, thanks for popping on tonight. Tonight is, gotta check the date because I don't even know what day of the week most days is right now. I do know today's Thursday. So it is Thursday, April 9th, and Jody is gonna be hosting our call today, which I'm super excited about. This is a perfect topic for kind of what's going on right now in our crazy, out of control lives. But first I wanted to shout out a couple people and show you guys our volume board. If you hadn't seen it already, posted on our page. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Where are we at here? All right, can you guys all see that? So yes, okay. So Jody is already rocking out at 6SC, which is exciting, especially for April right now. And Hannah, Kelly, Amaris, Sabrina are already our top coaches of the week. Super exciting. Amaris is actually our leader for volume, which is, I believe, the first time that she's been on. I know it's the first time she's been a top coach, which is really exciting. And I know it's the first time that she's been our volume leader. And it is exciting just to see her start rocking her business. Sabrina is steadily on this board, which is really, really fun to see. And those of you who know, these are SC points, so people who have been able to change a life this week. Kelly, Sabrina, Hannah, Janine, and of course Jody with her SC6. So I just want to shout you guys out and congrats to all of you guys who made it on the leaderboard, and I'm excited to see this board grow. Of course, it's a little bit short at the beginning of the month, but next week I expect to see that board blown up with a bunch of other names on here. So exciting to see that. And I'm just going to go ahead and hand it over to Jody because I don't really have any other announcements tonight to make. So I will hand it over to you, Jody, and I'll just mute myself.
Sounds good. Well, I'm excited to talk to you guys tonight, ladies, and hopefully I'm just not being a dead horse with everything that's going on. I don't want to draw more attention to it, but I feel like all of us have been overwhelmed through this time in one way, shape, or form. And, you know, maybe we have our ups and downs. I mean, I feel like I've been pretty good through everything, but it's like kind of starting to wear on me a little bit. So I have been excited that I've had some extra time working remotely to plug into more personal development and more training. So actually there was, I think, 3 different trainings I took today, or not today, this week that kind of actually touched base on a little bit of everything I'm going to talk about. So I'm like, okay, obviously this is speaking to me and people probably need to hear it. So just talking about really just taking control of things right now, and, you know, mainly our overwhelm and what we have going on. And this can be, you know, directed towards your business, and it can be directed toward your personal life, because I feel like right now they kind of all mesh together. So I'm going to share my screen because I did a fun little PowerPoint. So can everybody see that okay? Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay, so all we can do is control what we can control. You know, obviously there's things outside of our realm that we cannot control, but we need to take full ownership and we need to be the captain of our ship. So that means we need to be front and center and make sure that we're showing up every day and controlling everything that we have access to control. Obviously we can't control things that are going on around us, I get that, but we can control how we are letting it affect us, how we are letting it come into our lives. If we're feeding ourselves with all the news and everything, we can control what we're letting in and what we're, you know, blocking out and not letting in. So that is a major thing, just to take control over what we can take control of. You need to take control of where you're headed and what you're feeding yourself. Kind of like I was just saying, as far as like, you know, I'm just going to use the news. That's a big thing. I don't watch news. I hate the news. But ever since everything happened, my husband is like 5 o'clock sharp every day, the news. And I'm like, bye, I'm going to go to the bedroom. Like, I just can't. Or if he wants to talk about it too, like I just, you know, I just kind of block it out, or maybe like talk a little bit, because I just don't want to fill my head with that right now. I am so focused on just being grateful for everything right now, and looking at all the positives that this opportunity is giving us. And I call it an opportunity just because that's how I'm looking at it. I'm having the opportunity to spend more time at home with my son, with my husband, with my dog, spending more time on coaching, really just connecting with so many people now, because so many people are home too, and they're, you know, accessible on social media more and stuff right now. So I am totally controlling kind kind of where I'm taking my business and what I'm doing with this time, because it's so crucial right now. You can either let this time, swallow you up, or you can take full control over it and you can really make it worth your while. Because I feel like right now, more than ever, people need us. We have a solution to so many people's problems right now that if we're not reaching out and we're not having conversations, we're doing all those people a disservice right now. I have had more ongoing coach conversations and business builder conversations with people that I've ever had in my business. I have a huge pipeline. I have so many calls and stuff set up, and just constantly people that I'm following up with right now because they are looking for a solution. I don't remember what day it was, if it was yesterday or a couple days ago. We had over 7,000 people streaming bot. If that doesn't tell you that people need us, I don't know what else is going to tell you that. That was more people that we had this week than we did at the beginning of January. So I will tell you that people need to hear from us. We need to can take control of where our business is going and what we're feeding ourselves, so we're not overwhelming ourselves with all the negativity. Don't let our conversations with others influence your mindset. Again, that's kind of back to when my husband wants to talk about the virus and everything, I just don't even try to entertain it, because I just don't want to hear about it. I don't want it to start creeping into my mindset. I'm so focused right now on so many goals that I just don't want other things, being influenced on that too. And I'm just really trying to be a positive light right now. I also work in the mortgage business, so there's so much negativity and so much just other stuff going on that I just try and block out as much as I can. So that's really a huge thing, to just really try and focus on where you're headed, where you want to go, and make sure you're blocking everything else out. I can't find my cursor. So overwhelm is actually a choice. People kind of correlate it with, no, the circumstance is overwhelming me and the situation's overwhelming me. No, we are choosing to feel like it's overwhelming because maybe it's new, maybe it's a lot. A lot of us are being in situations right now where we've never been in before. We're working remotely, we're homeschooling, we're juggling all the things right now. So when you associate those circumstances with overwhelm, that's just how we're feeling about it. We're not feeling we're not, excited about those things. We're just feeling like we're overwhelmed. And it's just because it's new to us. It's just because we don't know kind of how to handle it and how to juggle it all. And that's okay. You're only overwhelmed because you're not clear on maybe what is the next thing to do. So you don't know what the next thing to do is, because like I said, it's new to you. So if you don't have a plan and action, if you don't have a routine, if you don't have a schedule, if you don't have time blocking, yeah, it is going to be overwhelming to you, because you don't know how your day is going to go. You're not planning for it because you're not used to staying home, or you're not used to not having to go to work and have everything laid out for you. So I think that is the biggest thing, is you can only do the next thing. You can only focus on one thing at a time, and then do the next thing, and then check it off your list, and then go to the next thing. When you're feeling overwhelmed, it's because you're letting too much in. You're allowing too much to flood your brain. You're letting too much extra stuff that you don't need to worry about, because all you can do is focus on one thing at a time. Again, fear and overwhelm will make you think too big of things you can't control. Your mind's going a million miles an hour. But when you think smaller and think, okay, what do I have to get done today? What are, main things that I need to focus on? What are main things that I need to do for my business, to build my business? And just, maybe go back to the business activity tracker and, look at those things. So just kind of put it on a smaller scale and just really break down those things, so you're not super overwhelmed with that. I'm going to go through a couple of steps to feel less overwhelmed as well. This is from a really good book that I read, and I'll kind of elaborate on some of these as well. So step number 1, decide what you want to do. What's the next thing on your plate? So I'm notorious, actually before everything happened, I was notorious for time blocking and scheduling out my days like crazy. And I actually thought, I'm like, I'll be working from home now. I'll have so much more flexibility. I won't need to be as structured. Yeah, that was, I don't know why I thought that. Because you kind of let that freedom go a little bit, and then you're like, oh my God, it's 2 o'clock and I've done none of my coaching stuff. I've done maybe a little bit of PD. Braden's, I don't even know where he's at with his homework. It's just, you're like, oh, and dinner's in a couple hours. So I still, after like a week of that, I'm like, okay, get your stuff together, Jode. I still, every Sunday, will lay out my whole entire week, when I'm doing my post, what I'm posting about each day, making sure I have time for my business activity tracker. I'm still getting up early, not as early as I was, trying to get a little bit of sleep, but making sure I'm still up early to get my workout in, make sure I have that time alone to get my PD in, my whatever coaching work I need to do. Yeah, like I said, my workout and stuff. And then I know what's next because I'm sticking to my routine. If I were going to work or if my son were going to school, like typically, because we all thrive on routine. We all thrive on structure. So I feel like if I can keep my routine as close to what it was, I feel like it's just going to help me stay more on track. So I still plan everything out for the week for that. Step 2, make the change and create a sense of urgency to make a change so intense that you're compelled to follow through with it. So I kind of relate this back to when I found out I was going to be working from home. I was actually really, really pumped. If anyone knows anything about me, I don't hate my job. I hate my environment that I'm in. So working from home, I'm like, yes, this will be amazing. I won't have to be around all these people that I don't really care for. So right then and there, I was able to kind of get a taste of what it's like to coach full time and kind of have that freedom. And you guys, I took all those feelings and all those emotions, and I've been journaling every single day on how I've been feeling and how just like how grateful I am and how thankful I am for it. And so I am attaching that feeling and that emotion with that goal that I want. And then, so that's creating my sense of urgency to make sure that I am still time blocking everything. I'm still focusing on all of my business builder activities, even if things seem crazy. This week's been a little bit harder for me to focus. I don't really know why. Probably because, my husband's getting a little bit on my nerves, and Braden's had like 3 tests this week because now he's on spring break. So it's been a little crazy. But I just know in the back of my head, or like just really keeping that in my forefront, that I am still going to, work my butt off and still make sure that I'm making time for those important activities to focus on because of how I'm feeling right now and how my relationships and my connections are going and how much I'm just really providing value. And people are so, so grateful for that right now. I've just really had some awesome conversations lately. So I'm attaching all that emotion to this experience and to why I'm still making sure that I'm focusing on those things. All right, interrupting the limiting pattern. Every time one of your old thoughts or patterns show up, we need to interrupt it and correct it. So when I, earlier this week when I wasn't really feeling it, I was kind of like falling off track and everything, I just kind of stopped and said, okay, Jody, focus, get back on track. Why are you doing this? And you know what I did? I pulled out my journal that I write in every morning, and I looked back and read exactly why I am loving everything about this and why I don't want to go back to that other environment. So that right there just like lit my fire again and said, okay, once I'm done with these couple hours of work, every night I've been plugging back into all my connections and my work, going back and doing more invites or following up with people. I'm just like so lit up because I'm attaching that emotion to that. So when I go back and read that or revisit that, I'm just like, okay, this is why I'm doing this. So I kind of interrupt that negative thought, the negative thinking, or the feeling of being overwhelmed or feelings of discouragement. I just kind of know I need to stop. And then I go back and just remember that emotion that I have tied to everything. Create a sense of new behavior. So again, like I said, I'm big on time blocking, making a schedule, following a routine. I just think, especially right now, it's huge for everybody just because, my son knows when he gets up, he eats breakfast, he, brushes his teeth and gets dressed like normal, and then he starts his schoolwork. So I feel like he's got a routine, we have our routine. It's just so much better for everybody. And it creates less chaoticness, less stress, less overwhelmness of like what we all have going on. I'm able to check his assignments the night before so I can see, okay, well, he's got this, this, and this. So I'll do, I'll schedule out his work on when he's going to do what based off what my work schedule is like. If I have a training call in the morning, okay, he's not going to be taking a test in the morning, take it in the afternoon so we can, you know, obviously you guys get what I mean. But that's just been so big for us, to just really make a schedule, maintain a routine. Time block is huge. You guys, I even time block my grocery shopping. I know it's crazy, but I do. I time block like everything. And it's just for me to get it out of my head and like on a schedule and know that I'm not like missing anything. And it just keeps me, I guess, kind of sane right now. So that's been super helpful. And then number 5, repeat the new pattern until it's consistent. So again, attach tremendous emotion with it until you feel like it's becoming natural. So when you, like I said, when you do start feeling overwhelmed, you just have to interrupt it, stop, think about, okay, maybe what you need to do next and why you're doing it. Attach that emotion to it so you're not, and just like attach like all this like negative emotion to overwhelm and like all this anxiety to overwhelm. So you just never want to go back there. So when you attach emotion to both the negative and the positive things, you can, when you are consciously just like, okay, I need to stop, I need to figure out where the heck I'm at, and then you can focus on the good stuff and just strive towards that. Obviously, this comes with time and it's not going to happen like tomorrow. But the more you get used to just like recognizing it and being able to just stop it in its tracks, the sooner you're going to like overcome it and not let it control you. And the sooner you'll be able to just like focus on all the good stuff. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Let's stop my share. I'm not really good at this. Oh, there we go. So if you guys have any questions, I kind of ramble and I talk really fast. So if you guys missed anything.
Love that. And I love it. And I feel like I think I said something similar, you know, recently. It makes it such a huge difference when you attach your emotion to it. Because we can be going like, we can do all these same steps and all the same stuff and it doesn't mean anything until you attach an emotion to it. And same thing with our conversations that we're having with people, with our, you know, determination that we have for our business, for our own personal life, for all of it, we have to attach an emotion there. Otherwise there's no drive, you know, there's no reason behind it. So everything that you're doing, it is really important to attach that emotion to it. Your goals, the way that you have a conversation with somebody, anything that you do, really attaching, you know, something that you feel to that. So I love that. Maybe extra time to help the old ladies.
Yeah, that's me.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't time block those people in. I don't got time for that.
Oh, I hope I get to see you at a store sometime soon.
I will help out my short friends that I know, the old ladies that just grab me from the aisle.
Are they still doing it these days?
They do, yeah. Sometimes I try, well, especially since I go so early in the morning, that's all that's there. 65 and older with me, just hanging out.
I feel like people are like sitting so far away from me, like nobody wants. Yeah.
Oh.
I can't see anybody smile because everybody's wearing a mask. I'm like the only one at the store that doesn't have a mask on.
I know. I didn't have a mask or gloves on last week, and I just got kind of glared at. But then people were like right up on me in the produce. I'm like, what the heck? Get off me! Wait your turn for your apple.
So funny.
I love it.
All right. Does anybody have any questions for Jody? So I was gonna talk a couple of things. I'll stop the recording now.